So currently we are living in an era where political polarization is on the rise on the top, and sentiments for certain institution is also very prevalent. And people are saying that this is a new norm. It's not because we have seen in the history multiple times that the same sentiments prevailed even after General Ayub's era. So we have to get back to the history that how things proceeded in this way, like we are seeing today. Back to 47, when we are getting independence, and Britishers, they were in hurry and they were fighting World War II, so they didn't plan partition as they should have at that time. That emerged to the conflict zones, both between Pakistan and India as well as Afghanistan. Like we have fought three wars on the issue of Kashmir and other issues. So the on the flip side, the western side, Afghanistan, they also didn't accept Durand Line till now, because they have this treaty called Anglo Indian Treaty, and according to that, this agreement, NWFP, FATA, KP, as well as the northern Balochistan, they consider these parts their own territory. So based on that, we harbored a zone where which is surrounded by a very hostile neighbors, and so we concluded that we have to prioritize our defense system for the survival of this newly emerged state. And we could do that, and we did that in the early 90s, as we have seen. But when on the civilian side, we have seen that these people are into constant drift of power dissemination, or the constitutional crisis were there, and we couldn't unfortunately have the leader, the statesman who would think of the nation as a whole, rather as a leader of political party. So after assassination of Liaquat Ali Khan, we couldn't have that leader. So that in that perspective, this rift between the people, the mistrust between the masses and the civil leadership, that somehow pulled in these military institutions. And now they are into the supply chain, they are into the projects, they are into business, they are into even our kitchen. So I would say they are like an octopus, a giant octopus. They have their tentacles in every other institution. So that is the issue. Now coming back to the solution, that how things we will solve these issues. So for solution thing, it is very difficult in case of Pakistan, because they are now a giant empire, and in a whole set of empire. They have their land, they have their education institutions, and they have their own court. Then how we will build a gap, a difference, a boundary line between the civilian and military government. So we have into this hybrid regime, unfortunately. uh, Coming back to the solution, that I don't think it is viable, but still we have to build a consensus onto which matter they should be, the boys on should be on the table, and on which matter they shouldn't allow, like the political process, the changing of governments, and the policy making. So we have this argument that CIA, which is the supreme, I guess, intelligentsia in the world, uh, they have their say, their policy framework on the table for the American government. So if they can do that, we can also, because this is kind of institution that we survived. There is no speculation on that we wouldn't have survived because of our defense system. So defense is something bordering the area, and somehow we got independence, so we have to defend ourselves in the form of military. So we have to build a consensus, a borderline between what is being prioritized, what is legitimate, and what is not. And who will draw the boundary, and because they like every other institution are became under this supervision of and deep state. So how we build that boundary line is another question. But this is, so far, this is the only solution that we have, because we have to build our economic indicators. We have to drag our people from the poverty line. And we also have to make affirm that our policies are workable. So this is the solution we have.